I'm Stella, 34, a lawyer grinding through cases in Anchorage, Alaska. Things were lining up, big promotion on the horizon, but a secret health issue loomed one I'd handle with surgery soon. That family dinner for my parents' anniversary flipped it all. The slap came fast, my sister's hand cracking across my face amid the clatter of plates. Pain shot through my cheek as she grabbed my medical report from the table, the one detailing my upcoming procedure, and ripped it to shreds, tossing the pieces into the trash like worthless scraps. "You don't deserve our help," she snarled, eyes blazing with that old resentment. My mother leaned in, smirking. "Always thinking you're above us, begging for family funds now." The room froze, eyes on me, but I held back the rage, bit my lip, and stood. No outburst, just grabbed my coat and walked out the door, slamming behind me like a punctuation mark. What followed? Weeks later, their lives crumbled. Illness struck, finances tanked, and desperation hit hard. They came crawling, but I had my line ready. If betrayal in your own blood rings true, hit subscribe for the full unraveling and drop a comment with your tale. Your shares fuel these stories. The drive home through Anchorage's quiet streets blurred in my vision, my hands tight on the wheel of my sedan. My cheek still throbbed from my sister's slap, a hot reminder of the chaos I'd just escaped. I replayed the dinner in my head, the anniversary toast turning sour, the way she'd lunged across the table, snatching my medical report like it was an insult to her. "You think you're special hiding this surgery crap?" She'd hissed, her voice low but sharp enough to cut through the room. She tore the pages deliberately, each rip echoing, then crumpled them and flung them into the kitchen trash bin where they mixed with dinner scraps. "We're not footing your bills, you're on your own." My mother nodded from her seat, her expression smug, arms crossed. "She's right. You've always been the one chasing dreams, expecting us to clean up. This family's got enough burdens without your drama." My father stayed silent at first, but then added, "We talked about it. Your sister's handling the finances now. No more handouts for you." The words stung deeper than the slap, twisting in my gut like a knife. I'd kept my health issue private, planning to cover the surgery myself with savings from my law firm job, but I'd mentioned it casually earlier, hoping for support. Instead, this public humiliation at what should have been a celebration. My brother shifted uncomfortably in his chair, avoiding my eyes while the rest of the family pretended to focus on their plates. I felt the heat rise in my face, a mix of hurt and fury, but I clamped it down. No yelling, no tears, just a deep breath to steady myself. "Fine," I said evenly, pushing back my chair with a scrape. "If that's how it is, I'll handle it alone." I stood, grabbed my keys from the side table, and headed for the door without looking back. The cool night air hit me as I stepped outside, but inside, something hardened. This wasn't just a fight. It felt like a setup, like they'd been waiting to strike. By the time I got home, my phone buzzed with texts from my brother. "Hey, that was rough. You okay?" I ignored it for now, sinking into my couch, the weight of the betrayal settling in. But controlled anger bubbled up. I wouldn't let this slide. Tomorrow, I'd start digging into what they meant by handling the finances. If my sister was pulling strings on family funds, especially ones tied to health support from our parents' old insurance plan, I needed proof. The next morning, I woke early, coffee in hand, and pulled up my email on my laptop. There it was, a notification from the family trust account, one I'd contributed to years ago for emergencies. Unauthorized access alert, timestamped just days before the dinner. My stomach dropped. This wasn't random jealousy. It was deliberate sabotage. I forwarded the alert to my doctor friend, a specialist I'd met through work, and texted her, "Need your take on this, looks like tampering with my records." She called back quick. "Stella, if they're messing with your health docs or funds, that's serious. Send me everything." Her voice was calm, professional, but urgent. I attached the ripped report photos I'd snapped discreetly before leaving, plus the email logs. As I hit send, resolve built. I'd stay quiet for now, gather more, but this conflict was far from over. Over the following days, I kept my routine at the firm, prepping cases while piecing together the puzzle in stolen moments. My doctor friend confirmed the logs showed hacks from an IP near my parents' house. This could void any family aid clauses, she said. Build your case carefully. D. I nodded to myself, noting it all in a secure file. My sister's resentment had always simmered. She'd failed at her business ventures, blamed me for stealing the spotlight with my career, but this crossed into real harm. Then a call from my neighbor who'd overheard arguments next door at my parents' place. Heard your sister yelling about money last night, something about redirecting funds. Thought you should know. It clicked. She was siphoning the family pot for herself, cutting me out to cover her debts. Hurt turned to cold determination. I wouldn't confront yet. Let them slip further. That evening, my brother finally called, his voice hesitant over the line. Look, I saw what happened at dinner. It's messed up. You want to talk about it? I paced my living room, gripping the phone. Yeah, I do. What's really going on with the family funds? I got an alert someone's tampering. He sighed long and heavy. It's my sister. She's been pushing our parents to reroute everything her way. Said your surgery is just an excuse for you to drain the pot. She's got debts piling up from her failed shop, and she's convincing them to cut you off completely. My pulse quickened, the pieces snapping together sharper. Cut me off. That's our shared trust for emergencies like this. How deep is she in? Deep, he admitted. I overheard her last week bragging to our mother about accessing the account. She doesn't need it. She's got her fancy job, she said. But it's more than that. Remember when she had that minor scare a few years back? Turns out she hid a full diagnosis to grab extra cash from the fund, claiming it was for therapy. Our parents covered it quietly, but I found the old records in Dad's office. The revelation hit like a punch, twisting my anger into something colder, more calculated. She hid her own illness to steal from us, and now she's blocking mine. That's not jealousy, that's sabotage. Exactly. My brother said, his tone turning firm. I snapped photos of those docs before she shredded them. Sending them now. Use them if you need to. My phone pinged with the file's scans of medical bills, transfer logs showing thousands diverted to her name. $5,000 here, another $3,000 there, all under family support. I forwarded them straight to my doctor friend. This changes everything, I muttered, opening my laptop to cross-reference with the hack alerts. She texted back fast. Holy crap, this is fraud territory. Her IP matches the log she's been logging in as you. We can trace it to prove intent. Meet tomorrow. Absolutely, I replied. The next day, we sat in her office downtown, papers spread out. She pointed to the timestamps. See here, she accessed your health portal too, probably to leak or alter your surgery details. If she convinced your parents to pull insurance support, that's why your coverage alert flagged. I leaned forward, fury building but channeled. My parents bought it. They know about my condition. It's serious, not some grab for cash. She nodded. From what you've said, yeah. But with her whispering, they're sidelining you. We build this quietly, emails, logs, her old hidden bills. No confrontation yet. Let the evidence stack. As we wrapped up, my neighbor called again. More yelling next door. Your sister stormed out screaming about securing what's mine. Your father tried calming her, but she's raging. I thanked him, adding his notes to my file. Cold resolve settled in. This wasn't just about my surgery anymore. My sister's greed had poisoned the whole family, manipulating our parents to favor her failures over my needs. But I stayed silent, watching from afar, as her posts online grew frantic, vague rants about unfair shares, with fewer likes each time. Weeks ticked by, my work at the firm, a steady anchor while I monitored. My brother sent updates. She's pushing them to rewrite the trust docs, excluding you entirely. Each message fueled the shift from lingering hurt to unyielding preparation. I screenshot her social media slips where she hinted at winning the family battle, tying it to the logs. Then the big twist dropped during a late-night call from my brother. I dug deeper into those old records. Turns out our sister's not even fully related, adopted secretly after a family scandal. Our parents hid it to avoid drama, but she found out years ago and used it to guilt them into more favors. My breath caught the betrayal layering thicker. She leveraged that for money, while calling me the beggar. Yeah, he said grimly. Explains her obsession with control. But now with your evidence, we can expose it all if needed. I ended the call, staring at the compiled folder hacks transfers hidden adoption papers. Pain from the dinner faded, replaced by a steely edge. This was war quiet and calculated. I'd let her overreach, wait for the inevitable crack. My doctor friend confirmed, your case is airtight. One more slip and it's game over for her. The tension ramped up, daily anonymous tips from my neighbor about heated arguments, more unauthorized pings on my accounts. I blocked her attempts remotely but didn't alert her, let her think she was winning. Inside, my resolve peaked, ready to turn the tables without a word. The high was electric, from wounded to warrior, plotting the reveal that would shatter their facade. A month later, the call came from my mother, her voice cracking over the line late at night. We need you. Your sister's in the hospital, collapsed at home. Doctors say it's the same condition she hid before, but worse now. Complications from stress, they think. I sat up in bed, phone pressed to my ear, the news landing like a calculated blow. What do you want from me? I asked flatly, already knowing. She hesitated. Money. The bills are stacking up tens of thousands. Insurance won't cover it all because of her past claims. We're tapping the trust, but it's not enough. Your family help us. My grip tightened, the evidence folder open on my nightstand. This was the slip I'd waited for, her old hidden illness flaring up, tied directly to the funds she'd siphoned. You mean the trust she drained? The one she hacked to block my surgery support? Silence stretched. Then she stammered. What? No, that's not. She was just managing it. I cut in cold. I have proof. Logs transfers her secret adoption papers she used to manipulate you both. She's been playing you for years. My father grabbed the phone next. Listen, this isn't the time for accusations. She's fighting for her life here. Come to the hospital, we'll talk. Fine, I said, hanging up. But I didn't rush. Instead, I printed the key docs hack alerts, diverted amounts totaling over $20,000, her old medical fakes, and slipped them into an envelope. My doctor friend had reviewed it all. This exposes fraud. Use it wisely. At the hospital the next morning, I found them in the waiting room. My sister lay in the bed beyond the glass, hooked to machines, pale and weak. My parents stood as I approached, faces drawn. My brother hovered nearby, giving me a subtle nod. He'd tipped me off about the collapse earlier. My mother reached out. Thank God you're here. The specialist needs payment upfront for the next procedure, $15,000 more. Your lost salary, you can front it right. We'll pay back. I pulled out the envelope, handing it over without a word. My father opened it, scanning the pages, his expression shifting from hope to horror. These transfers. How did you get this? Doesn't matter, I replied evenly. She stole from the family pot to cover her lies, then cut me out when I needed it. Now it's biting back, no insurance because of her fraud history. My sister stirred in the room, spotting us through the door. She motioned weakly and we stepped in. Her eyes widened at the papers in my father's hand. What's that? She croaked, voice raspy from the tubes. I met her gaze, unflinching. The truth. You dug this grave, now lie in it. She flinched, color draining further. You bitch. This is revenge. I was protecting the family, you're the one always taking. Protecting? I shot back. By hacking my accounts, faking your records, using your adoption secret to guilt them into handouts, you blocked my surgery funds out of spite, and now your mess is exploding. My mother gasped, turning to her. Is this true? The adoption we told you in confidence. My sister sputtered. It was nothing. I needed the money. My business tanked because of her success always overshadowing. You favored her anyway. My father dropped the papers, rubbing his temples. We trusted you with the finances. If this gets out, it won't, I said, voice steady. Not from me, but the hospital's auditing claims now your fraud triggered it. Face the consequences yourselves. My brother stepped in quietly. She's right. I saw the signs, tried warning you. My sister lunged weakly forward but winced back, monitors beeping wildly. You can't just walk away. We're blood. I turned toward the door. Blood doesn't excuse theft. Fix your own hole. Their protests faded as I left the hall, nurses glancing curiously. Outside, I blocked their numbers on my phone. The action final. No more pleas, no guilt. This confrontation sealed it, her shock, their denial, all crumbling under the weight of evidence I'd held back until now. Back at work that afternoon, I focused on my cases, but the rush lingered. My neighbor texted later. Ambulance drama next door earlier. Your folks looked wrecked. I didn't reply, letting it unfold. My doctor friend called to check in. Heard about the flare-up. Your evidence probably sped up the audit. Smart play. Yeah, I said. They confronted me, but I flipped it. No regrets. Over the next days, updates trickled via my brother hospital, demanding repayments for her past false claims, threatening legal action. My parents scrambled, selling assets to cover their retirement fund, gutted. My sister's recovery stalled amid the stress, doctors linking it to her deceptions catching up. I stayed detached, prepping my own surgery with personal savings untouched by their chaos. The power shift was intoxicating, her empire of lies, toppling without my direct push, just the reveal at the perfect moment. Tension peaked, but now it was theirs to bear. The fallout escalated fast in the weeks after that hospital showdown. My brother's texts came sporadically, at first detailing the audit's bite. Hospitals suing for fraud. Her old claims flagged as bogus. Parents liquidating stocks to settle, but it's bleeding them dry. I read them over coffee one morning, no sympathy stirring. Their bad investments, funneled through my sister's schemes to prop up her debts, backfired spectacularly. The market dip hit hard, tens of thousands lost in risky ventures she'd pushed them into, promising quick returns to offset the stolen funds. By mid-month, my neighbor messaged, "Your folks' house is up for sale. Saw the sign go up yesterday, foreclosure looming, I heard." Arguments nonstop. Your sister's out of the hospital, but crashing with them looking rough. I didn't respond, but verified through public records at work. The listing confirmed it. Their home, once a symbol of stability, priced low for a quick flip. Whispers spread in the neighborhood. My neighbor mentioned overhearing chats at the local store. People piecing together the fraud scandal from leaked court docs. My doctor friend updated me during a check-in call. Audit expanded, insurance companies denying all family claims, now citing her tampering. Your surgery's clear since you went private, but they're ruined. Good to know, I said coolly. Keeps me out of it. My sister's online presence tanked, further posts, deleted accounts going private, but screenshots from mutual contacts showed her begging for loans in group chats. Anyone spot me a few grand family emergency pa? One read, met with crickets, or blunt rejections. Then my father tried emailing from a new address, slipping past my blocks. We sold the car, your mother's heartbroken. Hospital wants another $20,000 for follow-ups. Reconsider helping for old time's sake. I archived it unread, forwarding to my file for records. No reply needed. Their choices had snowballed into this mess, her greed, the catalyst eroding everything. My brother called, midweek, voice strained. It's bad. She's relapsed back in for tests. Stress from the lawsuits. Parents dipping into retirement, but it's gone. They're talking assisted living if the house sells short. Told them the risks, I replied. Her web, her trap. He paused. Yeah. Neighbors are gossiping, calling it the family fraud fiasco. Your name's clear, though. The scandal rippled wider when local news picked it up, anonymized, but details matched. Anchorage family faces, bankruptcy over insurance scam. I watched the clip online, their faces blurred, but the story laid bare the diverted funds, hidden illnesses, and botched investments. Satisfaction simmered, not glee, but a quiet vindication. They'd mocked my needs, enabled her theft, now reaping the harvest without my intervention. My surgery went smoothly. Days later, recovery swift, with support from colleagues untouched by their drama. My neighbor texted again, moving truck here. Your sister's loading boxes yelling at movers about costs. Parents look defeated. I imagined it, her weakened state, forced to downsize to a cramped apartment, job prospects dimmed by the public stain. My parents, once smug enablers, now scraping by on minimal pensions, isolated as friends distanced. A final email from my mother arrived. We've lost the house, staying in a motel temporarily. Your sister needs ongoing care, costs mounting. Please call. We're sorry. I deleted it, the apology hollow against the damage. Their empire crumbled fully when court ordered repayments over 50,000 total, wiping out remnants. My sister faced probation for the fraud, her business dreams shattered, reduced to entry-level gigs that barely covered meds. My brother distanced himself too, moving cross-state for a fresh start. Can't stay in the toxicity, he texted. Thanks for the wake-up. I thrived at the firm landing, that promotion cases flowing in. Their downfall cleared the haze, no more shadows from their betrayal. Justice rolled in, relentless their own actions, the hammer. 2 months after the house sold, a knock echoed at my door one evening. I checked the peephole. My parents stood there looking frail, with my sister leaning on a walker between them. Bags at their feet, expressions desperate. I opened slightly, chain latched. What now? My mother spoke first, voice trembling. The motel's kicking us out, can't afford it anymore. Your sister's treatments drained the last savings. Let us crash here just a few days. We're family. My sister looked up, eyes sunken. Please, I screwed up, jealous of your life, your job. Hacked everything to pull you down. Sorry doesn't cut it, but we got nowhere else. My father nodded. The fraud case settled, fines wiped us clean. Your brother's gone won't help. You're our last shot. I stared, unmoved, memories of her sabotage flashing. Their pleas hung heavy, but my resolve held. You chose her lies over me. Blocked my health needs, mocked my pain. Now face it. My sister choked up. Come on, we're blood. I regret it, all the theft, the manipulation. Give us a break. No, I said flatly. You built this ruin. Find your own way out. My mother teared up. How can you be so cold? We raised you. Raised me to take hits no more. I shut the door, their shadows lingering briefly before fading. Blocked any new contacts that night, erasing them completely. Life moved forward, my career. Soared, health strong, free from their weight. Their fate sealed, my sister in low-income care, parents in subsidized housing, isolated and broke. This taught me that family ties don't excuse betrayal. Stand up for yourself, or they'll drag you down. Don't let jealousy ruin your life like it did theirs. Cut toxicity early to protect your peace. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and comment your stories.